The Hive has a lot of secrets. From a secret game mode to secret lore, there are a ton of secrets on the Hive. And today, we're going to be going over some of the most insane secrets that you can find on the Hive. Starting off, what if I told you that a secret game mode was released on the Hive for a short period of time a while back? This is Sky Royale, which is a game mode where a ton of players fight to the death with a lot of mini islands. It's pretty fun and chaotic, but this game mode was secretly released at one point. As on September 8th, 2023, it would be brought back by accident for around 30 minutes. This was due to a bug that would make the game open, and players would be able to /Q it. Later on though, Sky Royale would be brought back for a short period of time right after the Skywars update came out, but it has now been removed once again. But it is pretty funny that players were able to access the game mode as a secret for a short period of time. The Backrooms has taken over the Hive, and there are plenty of secrets that you can find on the various variants of this map. Starting off on the elevator variant, if you go into replay mode and no clip out of the map, you can actually see help spelled out on the roof. This is a little bit creepy. Next, on the overgrown variant, you can find the office map, which is pretty cool. Although we already know that the office and the Backrooms map are already connected, it's pretty cool to see a somewhat messed up version of it similar to the main Backrooms map. You can also find a sign saying _Tim's office, which is on the normal office map, but it's definitely interesting that's also here as well. If you don't know who _Tim is, he's actually a part of the Hive build team. On the Fill the Wall extended map, you can find a weird prison looking room and a computer. This room is definitely a bit weird, but it for sure has some connection with the lore. Lastly, around most of the Backrooms variants, you can just find random portals under certain areas if you're in replay mode. This is pretty weird, and I don't really know what this means, but let me know what you think in the comments. Gravity has received a new update recently, with the game getting a good amount of maps. But did you know that some of these maps have secrets? First off is the stairs map, which if you know anything about television, this map is actually based off of Squid Games. I know, this is honestly kind of funny. Out of all things, they made a map based off of Squid Games. But you can tell from the spawn and how the actual map looks. Another map is the shelves map. This map has a pretty cool secret, as if you look on the calendar, the date will say October 15th, which if you don't know what is on that date, it's actually the Hive's birthday, which is pretty cool. On this map, you can also see a QB, and you can also see a Questmaster icon, which are some pretty cool details. Now, next up, I have a secret that I don't think many people will understand, but I hope this will make sense. A lot of secrets people find in video games can just be things that are implied by their surroundings. The bridge lobby is definitely one of my favorite lobbies the Hive has added, but I'd like you to pay attention to the window outside the map, as in my opinion, I think the bridge lobby takes place near the original bridge arena, or at least the two areas are in the same city or inspired by it. I know this sounds kind of crazy, but hear me out. This is because the building style is pretty similar in my opinion, and I wouldn't be shocked if the Hive based it off the original map. If I'm right, that's actually a pretty cool touch, and I'm not sure that many players have picked up on this. Speaking of the bridge lobby, it's pretty obvious that the bridge lobby is actually a gym, or at least is a somewhat sports focused area. As you can see, a tennis court, an actual gym, an obstacle course, and I don't know, maybe this is a bowling alley? I don't know, that's just what I see. The next secret is also pretty insane and honestly pretty funny. A user in my Discord by the name of Nightcrow sent me an image of one of the owners of the Hive explaining the lore of Skywars. Honestly, this message is pretty goofy, but I'll read it out now. Legend has it that the tree, which if you don't know is the lemon tree underneath the Skywars lobby, was planted by Sir Bumblebee the Brave, the first bee to ever play Skywars. Sir Bumblebee was not just any bee, he was a bee with a top hat and a monocle. After losing a match, he decided that the world needed more beauty and less warfare, so he planted a sapling, watered it with enchanted nectar, and sang it lullabies every night. The tree grew to be magical as it is today, providing an endless supply of mystical wood. Some say if you listen closely, you can still hear the faint buzz of Sir Bumblebee's wings, cheering you on in your Skywars endeavors. Yeah, this story is pretty weird and funny, and I wouldn't be shocked if it was a joke or was literally generated by AI. If this is actually canon, I guess we finally know the full lore of Skywars and the Lemon Tree, which I guess is pretty cool. By the way, if you're enjoying the video so far, subscribing and liking means a lot, and it helps me out a lot as well. Next up, we're going to be talking about a game I barely talk about, that being Death Run. The first secret is on the map Metropolis, as if you go under the map in replay mode and no clip under the map, you can find a secret part of the map that you wouldn't be able to see without going in replay. From what we know, this is most likely an unused part of the map, as the layout is slightly different and also the traps. Either way, this is really cool and shows us what the map would have originally looked like. Speaking of unused or unreachable sections, this can also be said for the school map, as by going into replay you can actually find this area that leads downstairs, which obviously isn't on the map. You can also find a sign warning people, which if I had to assume, this is most likely for the runners. So this is probably an unused part of the map that didn't make the cut. Now we're going to go to Hide and Seek, which has a pretty dark secret. If you didn't know, the map Pripyat is based off of Pripyat, Chernobyl, which if you don't know what happened there in real life, it was a massive nuclear disaster. So it's a little scary that out of all things, the Hive decides to base a map off of something like this. But it's definitely interesting. Moving on, what if I told you I found even more goofy redstone in survival games? As once again on SG4, there's literally just redstone under this building that doesn't do anything. It doesn't even connect to anything either. Like, why is this here? If anyone knows, please let me know, as I find this kind of interesting. Speaking on things that confuse me even more, on the murder mystery map Pigment, if you fly out, you can just find all of these houses that you wouldn't be able to see without going in the replay. You can even find houses with whole cars and even rooms. Like, why put this here? You can't even see it. But if anything, this just shows all the effort the Hive puts in to make sure that their maps are top tier, which is something everyone should appreciate. Going back to the topic of the Backrooms, in the most recent Hive Halloween event, we got a brand new version of the block party lobby that was made to be much more spookier for Halloween. So if you look outside the map, you can see many rooms. So one of these rooms is literally the back. This pretty much confirms one of two things: that being Dr. Zuck, who made Block Party, is related to the Backrooms lore, or that the Backrooms is slowly spreading to the other Hive games. So let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Anyways, that's gonna be it for this video. Really quickly, thank you once again to the Backrooms community server for some of the information in this video, which I highly recommend you to join. Either way, I hope you enjoyed this video. Subscribing and liking helps me out a lot. Anyways, have a good day.